Okay guys, Chris Delano and Ken Pruitt here from IPD's R&D department. And as I told you in the forum, I was going to just do some quick video updates on the new turbo that was sent to us. So I'm going to let Ken roll with some stuff. I'm going to control the camera and we're going to talk about a 20G turbo, a K24, and IPD's new turbo, what some of the benefits are, and why we went after ours. Obviously you guys know, for the factory fitment, to mimic the K24 as much as possible, but this will give you guys a good opportunity at looking at our cast sampling. This is not an actual turbo or a final turbo, but this is actually a cast sample for us, and I'm gonna let Ken run over some of these things with us. So it's your show, Ken.
This is very pretty. This is our new one. Just to be totally honest, this casting right here is made of aluminum. It's an original sample, and that's why this turbo can't actually be run on a car, even though you can see that it is a full casting and is very similar to the stock one. Not a lot of improvements to be made here on this end. The Triple K turbo is actually a pretty good design for flow, and what we've done here is just very, very similar to the same thing. We do have a 20G here, which, as you can see, we have a significant improvement in exhaust exit on both of these turbos from the 20G turbo. So even though the ratios of the 20G turbo are frequently spoken of as being very similar, it doesn't really cover everything when you're talking about turbo output. The flange is the same on all the turbos. They all have the same flange, which is, well, these two anyway are designed to bolt straight on. You have to use a few spacers to get this one to bolt correctly. And this doesn't even really line up correctly with the exhaust manifold port anyway.
Ken, talk about that a little bit. You said because the flanges on the exhaust housing are proprietary towards Volvo, they've actually got a machined surface here that's indented to mount to the exhaust manifold to line it up properly. What we've had to do on the 20G turbo is create a set of spacers so that way that when you mount this T3 flange to the exhaust manifold on the factory Volvo, what Ken noticed when we first did this is he actually found it and pointed it out that you were able to rock the turbo quite a bit, Ken. So go and explain that a little bit.
The size of the holes in the flange on the 20G is really too large for the studs that are on the manifold, so they can actually cock sideways on the manifold. And a lot of these cars that have these installed, they are cocked even though the manifold's been shaved, so that they've gotten past the issue with the recessed flange. They still don't necessarily have it centered, and this is a rectangular port as opposed to the round one that's stock on these cars. Standard 20G, everyone's pretty familiar with the AR on these. K24 is a little bit smaller, not a lot smaller, same kind of thing. And this of course is the new ball bearing center cartridge, which spins quite freely. Notice the other major difference you see here is that on the stock K24 is the internal bypass, which we have blocked off on this one. And both the 20G and our new turbo will use an external bypass.
Yes. Now the 20G is not ball bearing. The K24 is not a ball bearing turtle, just basically journal bearing turbochargers, and this one will be a full ceramic ball bearing turbocharger. So as I mentioned in the forum earlier that we've done some significant testing and tuning on the 20G. We have one on our stage 3 V70R right now, and we got some really good data logs and some dyno charts and stuff like that to actually look at some graphs, some data logging back to MTE, so that way when we start tuning for this turbocharger, we'll have something to compare it to and go off of, and really make a really nice map, a sweet map for one of IPD's turbos. So
we did just spend several days with Marco from MTE working on tuning the stage 3 car, which has the 20G turbo on it. It was very enlightening for us, the amount of struggle we had with getting the 20G to boost appropriately in the way we wanted it to hit the boost figures we wanted as low as we could, and the amount of alterations we had to make the tune to even get the 20G to do that. It's the primary goal of this project, is to come up with a turbo that will make the numbers we're looking for, plus respond the way we want it to.
Exactly. So, I mean, the 20G, you know, is a turbocharger that does require some modifications to the manifold for the downpipe, actuator. Obviously, you can see there's some different things here, but that's our whole goal and process. Is we've got the exhaust housing basically completed. We fitted up to our mock-up engine stand and fixture. There's still some work to do on the compressor cover. We got some options there. Ken, why don't you go and talk about the compressor wheels, because we have a few compressor wheels that we will send to MTE for tuning, but they are billet, correct?
Yes, these are billet, and you can even see as you look at this, even this unit, which is just a prototype unit, is fully VSR balanced
can get a good shot of
You
that.
see the machining here on the.
Yep. Yep, so our center cartridges, ball bearing center cartridges, and wheels will be completely balanced, ready to go. Very cool. Ken, you want to talk about or touch about all the pieces that are going to come with it as far as lines and fitment with the stock components?
Right. We're looking for the kit to be completely bolt-on, so it will come with a drain pipe that is fitted to this turbo and will bolt directly on, and the hoses for the other 3 fittings as well, the other oil and the 2 water cooling fittings. It should bolt up directly with whatever angle flange down pipe you have on the turbo now and whatever intake that you have on the car now. We also, of course, have our own options for those parts if you need our assistance.
Exactly. Well, that wraps up. We're going to get this thing back to the manufacturer and go to town. We're waiting for the stainless to be poured. Ken and I verify the exhaust housing and how it fits in relation to the engine and the downpipe, and we got a few modifications to make, but we're still moving forward and we'll keep you posted. So just wanted to show you some of the positive movement on the new turbocharger, and we are moving forward, so it's exciting news. Anything else?